All right, today's gonna be a good day. We are headed back up northern Florida. We're gonna go pick up, I got an in-op to pick up going to Schuylkill Haven, which should be pretty close to Reading. You know, it's on the way. So we'll be dropping that off, and then I'm heading home. They'll be picking up in about 3 hours. We're heading north, west, unfortunately back to Tampa, but you know what? I'd rather do that than sit. So that'll be a little over $2,000 up. One of them Florida Stadies behind me. There's like red lights everywhere. So we're about an hour and 25 minutes away. I told the guy I'd be there by 2. It says the ETA is like 1:45. And the truck is kind of getting a little bit more smoky with age, I've noticed with the engine. I think we're about to roll over 300,000 miles on the 12 valve. So it's getting a little smoky. Could definitely use a service, maybe some new injectors and, you know, a bigger turbo down the road sometime. But in the meantime, it is definitely pretty smoky. Kind of one of the drawbacks of making common rail power with an old mechanical engine. So it's like with these heavier loads, oh, absolutely, it's going to be a little smoky. So it didn't used to be like that. So I don't know. It's definitely different running a trailer now as opposed to running, you know, power only. Whereas, like, I don't know, I could run power only and not make this thing smoke at all. But I think with the trailer and the constant abuse, I don't know. I also put a new air filter in it, so it's definitely not that. But you know, maybe we mess with the tuning a little bit. It does have a 0 plate in it at like in between 1/2 and 3/4 of the way, so I can definitely get the EGTs up there. But it's like it does pull weight pretty damn well. As you guys saw in one of my past videos, I did an acceleration test with 26,000 pounds. So. Yeah, Florida Stady back there. Hopefully he doesn't get me today. All right, we made it. So I'm gonna get to unloading the first one. We're gonna get the Malibu up first and then go from there. All right, so we're grabbing the only other thing I can grab that'll let me be underweight. Oh man, check this wheel out. Look at that. So he said it needed a winch, but it runs and drives with a jump pack is what they told me. So that's what we're gonna do. Get these kicked in a little bit and we'll go from there. But we're getting it up on, for legal reasons, it's going up first, because as much as I want to put that on my drive axle, this will be a lot better. This thing is actually steering itself off of my trailer. So what I'm gonna try to do is I'm gonna snatch block it back over this way. What a pain in the ass. All right, so I got it slid back over. Yes, I know I need to get a snatch block instead of this, but this worked for now. I'm gonna get some snatch blocks because the snatch block will keep you from damaging your winch as opposed to using one of these. So I did just loosen it up. So I'm gonna get this thing, probably gonna pull this up a little bit more, to be honest. I think I got plenty of room. I'm gonna pull this up a little bit. Anybody else ever just fancy back into the outside world? There we go, blocking traffic. Ugh. And we got her out of there. People might be mad, but whatever. So this is one of those loads where it would have actually benefited me to just have been a CDL driver and be registered at the CDL weight, because this load is so close to 26,000 that I can't fill my fuel tank. So what I'm gonna end up doing, because diesel fuel is 7.1 pounds per gallon, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go to the truck stop and I'm gonna weigh myself and I'm gonna see what I weigh, okay? Obviously, that's what you do, that's why you weigh yourself, okay? And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna see how many pounds under 26,000 I am, and I'm gonna come up with a whole math equation to see how many gallons of diesel fuel I can actually put in my tank. See, this is where the CDL benefits come in, because if I had a CDL and had my truck registered at the 30,000 pound combination, which it would be with this trailer, because it's a 21K trailer derated to 17K, so that would give me an extra 4,000 pounds, which would also give me an extra car that I could have taken up with me. As a non-CDL car hauler, it's definitely hard unless you got an actual legit two-wheel drive truck that's really light. But other than that, you know, I'm super happy with the trailer that I have now. Like, this thing is awesome. I'm actually like at the point where I'm like, well, screw a wedge, because I like this thing a lot, and my fuel economy stays pretty decent with it as well. Look at this guy, he's got his hay bales. So pretty cool. But yeah, that's I can't wait to get my CDL. I am getting it. If you guys haven't heard about what's happening February 7th, after that date, if you don't at least have your permit for your CDL, you have to go to school to get your CDL. It's completely optional right now. Once February 7th hits, it's mandatory. And school right now is about $6 is what the companies charge. So it could be 8 to 10 grand, and it's gonna take you time to get your CDL. Whereas now you can just walk into the DMV and get your CDL in pretty much any state. So you get your permit, and then there's no set of hours you need to do. So yeah, basically get your CDL now. If you're a non-CDL guy and you think you're gonna be non-CDL forever, because that's what I thought, I'm just slowly working my way up and doing more and more. I'm not gonna be sticking to cars forever. I'm not gonna be sticking to non-CDL forever. The next step is gonna be freight, which is how it is. We're moving up. So don't try to be non-CDL forever. Like I tried to be. I was naive. Get the CDL, do it right, because at some point they probably are going to make it. CDLs will be required for interstate commerce. So if you're non-CDL and you think you're gonna do it forever, they are absolutely going to do away with non-CDL hotshot at some point. They just need to find a way to do it. And I do believe that this is step one to getting rid of non-CDLs. All right, so here's the scale. I'm gonna get weighed first. A little waste of $12.50, but you know what? I wanna make sure we're legal, see what my actual weight is, and then we'll start doing some math so I can make sure that I'm gonna see where the closest scale is too. I might overfill just a little bit, you know? That way by the time I get to an actual scale, I'm still underweight, you know? So let's get the scale ticket. All right, so it looks like I am 25,340 pounds. I'm gonna screenshot this before it goes away. And then trailer axle 12,444, drive axle 8140, and steer axle 4720. So we are, I can do 660 pounds worth of fuel, which still gives me, you know, a decent amount. So I'm gonna have to do some math, go from there. 660, I think I said, divided by 7.1. I can get 93 gallons of fuel. So that's not too bad. All right, so basically, yeah, I'm limited to 93 gallons. We'll see if I put a little bit more in because I don't know when the next scale is. So I'm gonna try to look that up. Maybe we can put in, like, instead of 93, maybe I'll put in, like, you know, 97, 98, almost 100, but we'll see. I don't want to push my luck too much, but we'll see. All right, it was a whoopsie. You can't see that. I just missed it. I was like, I saw it hit 96 something. I was like, yeah. And I shut her down. So I think we might be like 30 pounds overweight. Oh, goodness. So by the time I hit another scale, though, I should easily have burned off those 4 gallons. So we should be all right. We should be like 26,000 and maybe 30 pounds. So that was, I didn't do it on purpose, I swear. But yeah, I'm gonna go and get my receipt and everything. Maybe stop at a Burger King. You know what? I have food from Arby's from last night, so I'm gonna heat that up. All right, let's do our reweigh. Accept. Fee is $3 now instead of $2.50. Wow. All right, whatever. You know. Let's see. Come on, come on, come on. Be under 26. Be under 26. I'm gonna guess 26,004. 26,040. 26,020. So we hit it right on the mark. So once I hit, that's awesome. Okay, so I will be, by the time I hit the first scale house, I will be underweight because yeah, I got like a couple gallons too, I got 4 gallons too much. So awesome. We'll be underweight by the time we hit the first scale. That's awesome. So I see guys doing this. I don't understand the logic behind it, but I'll see guys that'll register their trucks at $25,999. Don't do that. You're wrong. Don't do that, because these scales read in 20s. This has been an issue that I've seen people doing since the beginning. If you register your truck at $25,999, you have a better chance of getting an overweight ticket because of that 1 pound. Because the scales read in 20. So it'll read 26,000 or it'll read 25,980. It will never read between there. So you can get an overweight ticket depending on how much of a dick the cop wants to be. Register at exactly 26,000. Register in even numbers is basically what I'm telling you, because that's how the scales read. Don't be like this guy up here. He's got the car all the way at the top. That's why people flip those wedge trailers, is because they'll put one car up on the top, they'll go to take a turn, your center of gravity is way high, and now you've flipped it. You should always put it over the axles if you're only hauling one. I don't care how short of a distance you are, but that is a huge no-no. Don't do that. I didn't get to catch up to the guy to say anything, but yeah, don't do that. Way station ahead, and I think it's open, so I'm hoping I drove enough miles. I hope I drove enough miles to burn some of that shit off. Oof. All trucks enter way station. Guess we'll see. GoPro battery's about to die. I got the bypass. Sweet. Oh man, all right, now we know that nothing's gonna happen now at this point, because we were able to get through the first scale, being like a wee bit, but you know what? Not too bad. So I did kind of floor it like right before I got there. I was like, before I saw the sign, and I'm just gonna floor it, get, burn off a little bit of diesel, see if that doesn't help a little bit, because it's like so close. All right, there's a DA across the street there. Look at that, we got a Burger King. So obviously I'm gonna stop. I'm putting these Kit Kats were a little melted from this morning. Like this one I just opened and she's a little melted. So the AC's shooting up here, so I'm just letting the Kit Kat sit up here and get, cold. But yeah, so I'm gonna go get me some Burger King. There's literally 3 people in that building and 2 of them were on break. Had to walk through the drive-thru. She took my order, got everything. But it's like, damn, you guys gotta start paying these people better so that people show up to work. Oh man, I get that there's a lot of lazy people out here that don't want to work, but it's like, the jobs that don't pay, it's pretty bad that McDonald's can keep employees better than Burger King can. So it's like, I don't know, man. All right guys, we're making it. We got 11 and a half hours to our first drop, and I guarantee you I'm dropping tomorrow. I'm gonna drop both of them tomorrow, and I'm gonna be home. Now, I got plenty of time on my logbook tonight to get that down to 8 hours. So I should be able to drop at the 8 and 9 hour mark and then head home, which would put me damn close to my 11 for tomorrow. But I have like 3.5 hours of drive time left, so that's pretty good. So we'll be driving pretty late tonight, which I say pretty late. I don't know. It'll probably be like 11 o'clock by the time I'm done. But sender. He saw it, he kept going. He's got the same trailer as I do. Mine's a little bit nicer looking, but he's got just about the same trailer as I do. His truck's a little nicer looking than mine though, so we'll have that trade-off. But so I want to make this point here, right? There are there's a few people that it kills that I'm out here doing good, and we're gonna continue doing this shit. I started this year with nothing. Okay, I did mobile mechanic last year, and it's like, it wasn't the greatest gig in the world. I mean, I was able to pay the bills and whatnot, but, I pretty much started this year with just my truck and just my tools, okay? The job that I was working, I decided to work at UPS at the beginning of the year because they were paying like 28 bucks an hour, so I'm like, well, hell, I can't. They were paying 28 an hour, and Sundays were 56 an hour, and I took advantage of that shit. I think my paycheck for 1 week turned out to be like $1,800. It was crazy. But then I was averaging like in between 800 and 1,200 weekly. But it was miserable, so I quit in February before I got back into this. But this goes to show you, I started this year doing Hotshot, or whatever you want to call it, hauling with a pickup truck. I started this year with a determination to make sure my bills were paid, my family's taken care of, and I have to pay $30,000 by December 11th. That wasn't a goal that, I wanted to make, but it was a goal that I needed to make. Because if I didn't pay that, now I gotta go back to court, and it's gonna be a whole big nightmare. So I paid my first $12,000 into the payment a couple months ago. I did a video on how I just spent $25,000 or $23,000 in 1 month. We bought a car and, a bunch of other things. I put some money into cryptos so that I could let it grow and whatnot. But that was my determination this year. So to go from a guy who had nothing to, hey, pay off 30 grand by December, right? I don't actually have to pay off the full 30 grand. I do need to pay off at least 24,000 of it. So by December 11th, $24,000 will have been paid out of my pocket, on top of, I just bought a trailer, I just bought a car, now I gotta put an engine in one car. I also have to, I just bought buying a 2007 Durango, that needs an engine as well. So it's like, even though, and also the truck looks way better than what it does. But my point of this is, if I can do this starting with almost nothing except like this, it's a $15,000 truck. Like it isn't anything special by any means. And it's like, it had a blown motor, and we slapped a motor in it last Christmas. No, 2019 Christmas, I think it was. Slapped a motor in it, you know, ran it for a year, tested it and everything. We're finally getting to the point where it's working. And it's like, you see the motivation that I still have doing this. If I can do it, any of you guys should be able to do it. I'm nobody special. At the end of the day, just a guy with a camera, and somehow you guys like me. I don't I don't get it, but you know, it's definitely appreciated, and I can say that. But it's one of those, start somewhere. Now I get it, there's certain ways you don't want to start. Like, there is certain trucks that I tell people to avoid, like a 6.0 Power Stroke, and some of the older Duramaxes I tell people to avoid. And you know, power only, I can tell you it's a great way to start, but definitely move up from there. I may seem like I'm all over the place with certain things. Like, I started power only. I didn't know that I was ever going to get out of power only. Like, I thought that's just it, non-CDL power only, that's it. And I'm like, hell, you know, and then I leased the trailer, and I'm like, well, this is better. I lost money because I leased the trailer, and I was making less money with it because it was only a 32 footer. Well, then I'm like, well, screw it. So, you know, let's find something bigger. I found, someone messaged me about this 43 footer. So I'm leasing to own this 43 footer. Now I'm looking into getting my CDL. Now we're talking about getting into freight next year, buying a second trailer, buying a second truck. I got all these cars now that I'm buying, and it's like working on property, and it's just like, don't stop growing. Keep yourself moving, keep yourself, you know, just keep growing. Once you settle, you're gonna fall off, and you're gonna get comfortable, and then things, you know, it's not good. You know, if you're not growing, you're just staying where you're at, or you're going backwards. And that's how I'm seeing it. And slowly, I've learned that lesson. Like I said earlier, I was naive, and just keep going. This is just motivational. This is how I see it. So if you guys ever have questions about anything, feel free to send me a message. It does take me a good bit of time to get back to them now, because I've been getting so many. But definitely feel free to send questions. Don't get into something without talking to other people first. Figure out what setup's gonna work for you, because what works for me may not work for you. If you're not mechanically inclined, you absolutely wanna have a new truck, but you also wanna have a backup, because new trucks, they're not consistent. Sometimes you get a great one that'll go hundreds of thousands of miles without issues, and other times you have warranty issues. So feel free to send me a message, send other YouTubers a message, see what they say. Definitely try to filter through the bullshit, because a lot of guys will lie. Over here, I try to show you guys everything, so that's basically it. So I'm gonna keep going. Like I said, 3.5 hours, 3 hours and 14 minutes until my logbook's up. So let's keep pushing. All right, damn it, you guys can't see anything, but I stopped to turn the fuel tank on and go from there. I want to check all my lights and all that. I didn't realize there was a curb here, but I went up over it because, you know what, why not? I could feel when the trailer went over it as well, but that looks like everything pretty much works. So turn the fuel tank on, let's get out of here. Everything's still strapped down, still all right. You know, no broken straps, no broken winch cable. Winch cable's tight as shit, but you know, whatever. So, aside from that, well, somehow made it to a Love's that was actually on my route. And just to prove to you guys it's legal, I still have 23 minutes left of my drive and an hour and 3 minutes left of my shift. Unfortunately, can't walk through this puddle because my socks will get soaked, so that kind of sucks. But we are here, and that's pretty much gonna do it. The lens is gonna keep fogging up because of the humidity. Gonna keep cleaning that off. So that's pretty much gonna do it. So yeah, before I got interrupted, I want to go over the load. So literally 26,000 pounds on the dot is what I was when I crossed the scale house. Looks like it might have just rained here or something. Oh, we're not. Yeah, they got the sprinkler system out. That's awesome. That dude's getting his trailer washed. So looks like I'm getting mine washed too. Oh shit. Got the damn thing over there. I almost got sprayed. So that's pretty much gonna do it. I was like, somebody came up to the truck. He offered to wash it for me, or wash the windows for me, and I'm like, nah man, you don't gotta do that. And he's like, he's trying to make some money. And I was like, you know what, don't worry about it. So I went and bought the guy a meal. I was like, I feel like it was just the right thing to do. I had like $37 in my account, and I'm like, I spent like 20 bucks on the guy. I was like, I'm not too worried about it. I don't care. Ain't gonna hurt me. I got a fuel card for tomorrow to fill up with, and then I'll be good to get home. So other than that, that's pretty much gonna do it. Have you guys enjoyed? See you guys in the next one. Got me a chocolate milk while I was at it. So take care guys. Have a good one.